One of the questions I get asked all the time is this: is a buyer's agent fee actually worth it? And look, I'm going to give you a very honest answer. Not just a yes because I run a buyer's agency, but a proper way to think about it so you can decide for yourself. Now, before I get into it, let me just be upfront. I run a buyer's agency, so obviously I benefit if you decide to use one. But that's exactly why I want to break this down properly, including when it actually doesn't make sense to use a buyer's agent. So, first, what are we actually talking about in terms of cost? Most buyer's agents charge either a flat fee, a percentage of the purchase price, or a mix of both. For a typical residential investment purchase, you're generally looking somewhere in the range of about $10,000 to $20,000, depending on the deal, the location, and the level of service, of course. But the real question isn't the fee. It's what are you getting for that fee? And is it actually worth it for you? And the way I think about this comes down to three things. So first, what are we actually paying for? A good buyer's agent should be helping you with building a really clear investment brief, researching and shortlisting the right markets and properties, doing proper due diligence, negotiating the deal, and managing the process all the way through to the settlement. But beyond all that, there's something people don't talk about enough: accountability. You've got someone whose job it is to make sure this purchase goes well, someone who understands the process, knows the risks, and has a reputation tied to the outcome. But what the fee doesn't buy you is guarantees. No one can guarantee growth, no one can guarantee yield, and no one can eliminate market risk. What it does change is the quality of your decision. The second thing people massively underestimate is time. If you're doing this properly yourself, this isn't a weekend job. You're talking months of work, researching markets, inspecting properties, analyzing deals, negotiating. For most people, that process takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months, sometimes longer. And if you're a professional or business owner, your time has a real dollar value. So when people say, I'll just save the fee and do it myself, that's not the full picture. You've got to factor in what your time is actually worth. And then there is the big one. What's the cost of getting the decision wrong? Let's say you're buying a $600,000 investment. If one property grows at 4% and another grows at 6% over 10 years, that difference is huge. Or worse, if you buy the wrong asset and have to sell at the wrong time, that's a much bigger cost than any fee. So this isn't about fee versus no fee. It's about decision quality. This is important. There are definitely situations where using a buyer's agent doesn't make sense. If you already have strong experience in the market you're buying in, if you genuinely have the time and discipline to do proper due diligence, if you've got the right network and access to opportunities, then the value of a buyer's agent is naturally low. Also, if you're buying at a very low price point, the fee can become a large percentage of the deal, and the numbers might not stack up. If your purchase is very personal, like buying in a specific street or near family, then you're not really making a purely investment decision anyway. So here's how I would think about it. Ask yourself three things. What is my time actually worth over the next 3 to 6 months? Do I genuinely have the skills to assess deals at a very high level? What's the cost if I get this decision wrong over the next 10 years? If the fee is small compared to those numbers, it probably makes sense to go with a buyer's agent. If it's not, and you're confident in your ability, then doing it yourself might be the better option. If you're trying to figure out whether this makes sense for your situation, we can have a quick chat. At Ovi Property Buyers, we do a no obligation discovery call where we'll walk through your goals, your numbers, and whether we can actually add value. If we can, we'll tell you how. If we can't, I'll tell you that as well. Links is in the description.